What's up, Gotham AfterBuzzers? Up next, we're talking the final Mario Gordon showdown and the dissolution of the Riddler Penguin duo. It's a whole lot of bad blood. Hell, come on.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Cause baby, now we got bad blood. You know we used to be mad love.
Come on.
So take a look what you've done.
That's right, everybody.
Cause baby, now we got bad blood.
Hey, welcome. Tip the waiters, tip your waitresses, pull up a seat.
How did all these people get into my
How
room?
did you get in here? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Gotham AfterBuzz After Show. Gotham Season 3, Episode 11, which is essentially, I guess, the mid-season finale.
Yes.
Beware the green-eyed monster. If you guys haven't already, please go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Subscribe, like us, comment, iTunes, SoundCloud. You do the same dang thing. My name is Micheal Drew. You can find me on Twitter at Micheal_Drew, Micheal EAL. And I'm joined with, of course, the same guy I'm always joined with. But we got a new one, a new member to the duo, which is now a trio. Lacretia.
Monty will also be back.
Lacretia Lyons.
Yeah.
Lyon.
Lacretia
no S.
Sorry. I will set you on fire, man.
I want to say your name with an S as if there's like a whole group of you. Lions attack.
I know there's a whole show about us on Fox Wednesdays. but yeah, I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys. You can always find me at LACRETIALYON. No S.
Mr. Kaufmann.
And you guys can find me as always on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. And I'm going to be hosting Monday Night Football right after this.
Yes.
And he's really excited, guys.
Well, not now.
Yeah. You can tell by his jersey, the Eagles. Sorry, guy. This is not your season.
Well, it's going to be a 9-9 season. But we're here to talk about Gotham.
No, some more. The Eagles. You'll also be on the... Who's going to be on the chat?
We're both on the chat.
That's what
We
I'm
can
talking
read.
about.
We're both looking at this chat.
My dynamic duos. Am I the Batman? You're my Robin?
I'm always Oracle in the other shows, so I guess I'll stick with that.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. A little geek cred. That's what I'm saying. All right, guys. Initial thoughts of today's episode.
Love this episode.
Okay.
Like, I've been talking a lot this season about how, like, oh, that's going to take weeks, it's going to take weeks, it's going to take weeks.
Yes, you have.
And then it happens the next week.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things I thought was going to go down right here, right now, that didn't. That they keep us coming back.
Anything,
But, like,
anything initially off the top of your head that you thought was going to happen that you didn't see happen?
I thought the safe was going to, like, reveal the bomb. Like, well, no, I guess...
Is it like a vase? An owl vase?
Yeah, like, I guess I was on the fence. I was either like, it's going to be complete MacGuffin or a giant bomb that destroys the whole city.
I know, that would have been so corny, though.
That if they blow up the whole city, but they wind up in an interdimensional portal and on Earth 3, that would be weird. That'd be really
makes
weird.
Total sense.
That would be too deep.
Yeah.
That's too many deep.
I mean, but then they'd wind up on Supergirl's Earth, and it would be the other 4 shows that are tying in this week.
It'd be ultimately confusing, but for geeks, though, for comic book
We'd be
readers,
all
it'd be
about it.
phenomenal.
And at least in Supergirl's universe, Gotham City does exist, and
Does it
her
really?
cousin does hang out with a guy, a billionaire with toys. So it's alluded to.
Oh, yeah.
this
Really?
exists, yeah.
It's alluded to, I think, a lot of people, but it's also made clear because, for those who are unaware, all the DC shows except for Gotham are tying in this week.
Yes.
And the reason they do that is because Gotham is a completely separate DC universe to the Ford.
Right. Over here, we're a separate entity.
Yes.
We don't even know if we have metropolises.
I think they've mentioned. They've mentioned Metropolis exists.
Did they really?
Yes. Someone will call me out if I'm wrong on that. I'm pretty sure they've mentioned Metropolis.
Miss Lacretia, what did you think of today's episode?
I really loved it. I thought that they wrapped up what they needed to, this Mario storyline, and just in such a cool way. What better way to have just Jim bust in at the very end? But it's not going to make him look too good with Lee initially, I would assume. So there's drama there. But I just love me some Barbara and Tetch, the Mad Hatter. I loved his little paper hat.
His paper mache hat.
Fox, can you put that? Can you put that on your store? I'll pay $12. I'll pay $12 for a newspaper hat, newspaper top hat.
Yeah, I was greatly enjoying that, and I liked how we had brief moments of, in every scene, well, specifically 2 scenes, they kind of outdid the villains at what they did. Like Barbara out-riddled the Riddler. When she gave him a riddle to reveal Penguin, and Jim out-rhymed Tetch.
Yeah.
Emphatically.
That was hilarious.
Dope. Although that felt planted, and we have a lot to talk about with Tetch.
Okay, yeah.
About Tetch and the Court of Owls and a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
On that.
I like how it's like he has Tourette's when it comes to rhyming. Yeah. It's like, how will you not be and he just can't keep his secrets.
It's kind of like shaving a haircut with Roger Rabbit.
It is like shaving a haircut.
Any tune where it's like, well, but I can't not complete the rhyme.
Yeah. If you guys have never seen Roger Rabbit and you're too young for that, I'm not going to explain it to you. Just watch the movie, guys.
It's probably on Netflix.
It's probably on Netflix, and it's ahead of its time. Well, not now, but back then.
Yeah.
Ahead of its time. All right, so let's start with, let me not go down a rabbit hole. Where we won't be able to come back from. Punjar?
Punjar.
Yeah.
Bruce, the Whisper Gang, we start with Bruce. We're going to focus on the Bruce stuff. And the Whisper Gang shows up, well, the one surviving member of the Whisper Gang shows up to tell him that everyone's dead. But hey, we still going to do this plan, right?
We ride or die, though, right?
Well, we still got this going, don't we? And I like how, with the knowledge of them being dead, we don't know if the court knows if Bruce is involved. And I don't think we found any answers regarding that either.
Yeah. Well, the Court of Owls, as it should be, is like shrouded in secrecy over, because we still don't know what they wanted Mario for. We still don't know what's in that safe. We still don't know if they know that the safe could be breached. Like there was a lot we don't know, and that's the beauty of them, is that they can secretly run the city.
Yeah.
And what I do love about a plot device is some things become coincidences that if you have a secret organization running the city, you just assume they're not. So, like, I think half the things that in our minds we're chalking up to the Court of Owls right now are just like, no, that just kind of happened.
I know, yeah.
You can just blame everything on them, just like they're a shadow government. But, they're not responsible for every evil thing.
I know, yeah. But there's so many holes in Gotham that you can use them as just an excuse. Like a conspiracy theory. What happened? Hey, I don't know. Could have been the court.
Yep.
Well,
could have been the court.
Illuminati.
The Illuminati of Gotham. So they pretty much they essentially agreed to the fact that they're still going to go forth with it. They're going to go forth with Bruce, Al, and the surviving member of the Whisper Gang. But Selina is worried about Bruce, and she doesn't want them to do this because she doesn't trust it. She still is very anti.
She's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, she's street smart. She's like the street smartiest of the entire group.
I would hope so. I mean,
she lives on the streets, right?
Well, yeah. Alfred's pretty. Alfred's pretty well trained in the streets.
I love how there's always some showcase of who Alfred really is. Even though we know we had that moment last season where we met his friend and we know what he did before he met Bruce. Mm-hmm. But I love that he's just the ultimate, as someone said on our chat, BAMF.
Yeah, Eric Olin, thanks for that comment. I totally agree. And I think I may put my poll back up on Twitter. Who would you rather do, Alfred from Gotham or Mr. Jarvis from Agent Carter? Because they're both kind of badass butlers.
I like
it's
that.
Pretty hard poll, yeah.
Who would? Yeah. Real hard question, guys. Who would you rather do, Alfred or Jarvis?
Well, Jarvis is married, so.
It's even funner, baby.
I mean, kind of spoilers.
Sneaking at night.
Actually,
kind
of,
at night.
You've never seen.
Mm-hmm. And he's a gentleman.
Yeah.
But when you sneak in at night, maybe not so much.
I know.
I mean, Jarvis would not. Jarvis would not cheat.
No.
Kaufmann, I think he's a freak. Sorry. All right. So Selina's worried. And Alfred, and she even kind of clowns Bruce, saying that what he did was weak, making a pact with the court. But then he tells her and I'm just loving. I love the interaction with the relationships, that he did it for her essentially, because he didn't want the court to kill her, because she's really like the only friend he has. He doesn't want the court to kill her,
and she's even selfless in this moment of like, Bruce shouldn't be on this mission.
Weren't they just cute?
Of course they were.
Weren't they so damn cute?
That was my thing, is this was just so adorable, especially when he shoots the rope out and then she's the one to walk onto it. It's like baby Batman and Catwoman.
Baby Batman and Catwoman. She gives him a nice little kiss.
Well, complete with well, not an arrow gun, but complete with a grappling hook.
Yeah, grappling.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Like Baby Batman shooting a grappling hook, and then it was so cute.
It was. We move on from that, and Talon kills the surviving member of the Whisper Gang, and he's clearly a no-show. And speaking of the what was it? What do you call it?
Grappling hook.
The grappling hook.
Yeah.
When they're about to proceed to go inside, and he's a no-show, and then Selina makes the last-second save to come in with them. That's what I'm talking about.
Also, Mark Murphy in the
cool.
chat has a really good question. If
Sure.
the court knew Bruce broke their agreement, why wouldn't they send more than one Talon after him?
Yeah.
Like that's
Well-
a really good question. Like,
Well, guys, we're still. I mean, the rules in this Gotham are different. Like he's going by comic book rules. We still don't know. Talon might be the only Talon. We don't know there's more than one Talon.
There's gonna be more than one Talon.
I mean, he could.
So now the court has no Talons.
Well, the rest of the court, Talon could just be one super assassin. They could just have a bunch of dudes with guns. You don't know if the Talon could be the experiment.
Or that there's one Talon and it's like 007.
Well,
Yeah, he just keeps coming back.
Or the Doctor.
Okay, or it could be that he could just keep coming back. He could be immortal, or yeah. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
You're gonna go with
It's just the same guy. They just cloned him.
because of what happened in today's episode.
a bunch of Talon
I
clones.
think that's gonna happen. You're gonna see the same guy, and they're gonna be shocked. Like, didn't I kill you? Didn't I stab you in your face?
Didn't Seth Rogen play you in that movie? Sorry, he just really looks a lot like the Green Hornet. Like,
He does.
That's
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah.
That is a little confusing.
Yeah. So they go inside, and of course they try to break in, and they do. They walk the tightrope, and they found a vase. Oh, but before the vase, sorry, I didn't want to skip this part. When Bruce brings up to Selina, does this mean we're dating?
yeah.
Does this mean you're my girlfriend?
I don't think this is the time, Bruce.
Yeah.
I know, but I love
That was so cute.
I like right there. You saw that Bruce Wayne Playboy. It's spawning. See, everyone's just focused on him being a martial artist, but the Playboyness, it's sprouting.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's more the lovesick. Like that's the Playboy billionaire that Bruce Wayne becomes is a lot less like the Bruce we're seeing now that like actually cares.
Mm-hmm.
Like Selina has to break his heart for him to become detached to all women, for him to be the. Sorry to smash your theory there, but I know like
You bastard.
that he's gonna go through heartache and then be completely detached from women.
Yeah. That's the Bruce Wayne we all know. He's just, that sexy, brooding, broken guy that, the ladies just can't get enough of.
They love that.
But you can tame me.
But
Yeah.
maybe you can tame me. All right, so they go inside, they find the vase, and then Talon finds them, and they fight Talon, and it's going down. Looks like they're about to lose, and they're saved. They're saved by a mysterious figure.
By the way, there was some talk in the chat. Alfred does get sliced, not
Right.
necessarily stabbed, but he does get sliced by Talon.
I didn't notice that.
By the way, we talk about how bad Alfred is. If Bruce and Selina had listened to Alfred and left, Alfred dead or alive?
Oh, dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
He wasn't beating the Talon.
I like what Lady Diaz says in the chat. Alfred was surprisingly cool this episode, letting a couple of teenagers steal from an organization that would kill you for whispering their name.
Yes. Yeah.
But he even calls himself on, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah, he's the best babysitter ever. He's like he's the babysitter parents hate but kids love. Like, can we get Alfred?
Also,
Can we
Lady
get
Diaz in
Alfred?
the chat says, "I bet if they break that Al statue, something will be inside."
Yeah.
Do
And that has to be it, right?
so. It's not as much a prediction as just a reckless speculation within the thread we're on.
Okay.
Do we think that because they caught most of the Whisper Gang, they know the key is missing, that they had time to go in and just swap out whatever was in that safe, and that this is nothing?
No, I think that I'm not gonna go with that theory. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they just found it at the same time. My question is, so are we under the theory that they knew it was Bruce? Is Bruce still in the clear? Do you think the court knows that Bruce was involved?
Yes.
You?
'Cause-
Lacretia?
I think that they'll find out probably in the next episode for sure. They probably have their suspicions that this little kid is much smarter than they were thinking in the beginning. But yeah, to actually be pinpoint, because we meet, Selina's mother apparently is the one who was watching him. I think that'll kind of be a misdirect.
Yes. Which brings me to my next question. They're saved by a woman who turns out to be Selina's mother, who's in a pretty awesome costume. You know,
Yeah.
so she's got her shades almost look cat-like. She had the nice top hat.
Michelle Pfeiffer looking.
She did.
Yeah.
All right.
They went for something there.
Did you almost think it was Michelle Pfeiffer? 'Cause I saw your eyes.
There was a brief moment where I was like, did they get Michelle? Did they get Michelle Pfeiffer for Gotham? And B,
Yeah.
did they keep it a secret until right now? Like
That would have been crazy.
We would have heard about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what are our theories on her? First of all, what are our theories on the mother? Off the top, anything crazy? Anything like sprouting out your brains?
I'm not to copy the Fox show that comes on after Gotham, but I do think that Selina's mother will turn out to be bad. You know, I think it works more for her character development if she's, not a good guy.
All right. So do we think that she is somewhat involved with the court?
She has to be.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, she's involved in the Whisper Gang.
Yeah, I would think more the Whisper Gang, just because she's
That's a good
more
one.
of a blue collar, I guess, in Gotham. That may be how they separate. The Court of Owls is more of the high society, and I wouldn't expect Selina's mother to be a part of that. Yeah.
But we don't know much about Selina's mother.
True.
Selina never divulged as much. Like, Selina is so fiercely independent, I wouldn't be surprised if her mother was a woman of the streets that she left. And I don't mean prostitute. You could just be a person.
I wasn't jumping. I didn't say anything.
You could just be a criminal on the streets that your daughter's like, nah.
Nah, I'm good.
When you said woman of the streets, I thought gangster for some reason. I swear I didn't go to prostitute. I was like, woman of the streets.
And by the way, a woman of the night is a prostitute.
Yes.
Yes, woman
Okay.
of the streets is a gangster.
Yes.
Well,
Lady gangster.
Speaking of female gangsters, Barbara, we see Nigma, and the first person to go speak to Nigma, the first interaction we see with Nigma is Barbara going to go talk to him. And we go straight to it. She's going right to the goal. Like, listen, I've got some juice about Penguin.
I dig this. Because
I love it.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
watching Barbara. She's slowly growing atop my favorite
this was something I
characters.
got wrong last week. I thought she was going to try to burn the whole thing to the ground this week. But instead, she just plants the seed that I thought she was going to try to create the power vacuum and then rise up through the power vacuum.
Yeah,
but she's actually
Yeah.
smarter than that. She's circumventing the power vacuum altogether and just trying to transition from Penguin to her.
Yeah, there was a lot of slow burning this week, in terms of setting up storylines for the comeback post mid-season break. So she pretty much tells him that it's Penguin, and in order to do so, she out-riddles him. You know, as we said before, and she just. And he gets it so quick, and I love that interaction.
Yeah, my favorite was when she
Yeah.
Did you just cough cover Penguin?
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll go out on a limb right now. There's been a lot of talk about her being Harley Quinn. Like, straight up
Yeah.
being Harley Quinn. I can go out on a limb right now and say that's not the
No,
case.
I was thinking the exact
She's
opposite.
going to have elements of Harley Quinn, especially with Jerome coming back, but hashtag it's Gotham.
Yeah.
There's no Joker. There's no Joker. There's a person named Penguin. There's no Riddler per se. It all falls in how it is.
And to me, I'm really liking her performance a little bit better than Margot Robbie's as actual Harley Quinn in a lot of ways. Just because, well, A, it's TV. We're having a lot more time with her,
Yeah.
and we're seeing this descent into madness, and it's fun.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree, only because I do think she's Harley.
Really?
I do. I mean, I think she's going to be their Harley. She's their version of Harley. I don't know if
No,
they'll
that's
call
what
her Harley.
I think
Is that what
she's
you
going
mean?
to have elements of Harley. She's going to
Yeah.
be. She's going to be at Jerome's side.
Her and Jerome are going to. I mean,
But they're not going to hook up. Like, it's not going to, and he's not going to be like the straight up alpha to her. Like, it's
Okay.
It's going to be completely different, and she'll never go by Harley Quinn.
okay.
That's.
All right.
But they asked the actress this week, and she said something to that effect as well.
Of what? What'd you say?
Pretty much what I'm saying. Of just like I'm Barbara Keene. I'm Barbara Keene, and she has elements of everything. Gotham is an amalgam of a lot of things. We've been telling Batman stories for over 50 years. It is what it is.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Like,
That's true.
And I wouldn't want them to have her be wearing jester outfits and things like that.
Yeah.
If
That
they
would be
do
too
one
much.
little nod, like
Yeah.
her dress up for a costume, just somewhere where it makes sense. But Barbara's fashionable. She's not going to do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they've given her a couple of organic nods. Like, I think episode 3 of last season, she had the giant mallet.
She did have
Yeah.
With Jerome, that it was already there. that she's filling that role without being Harley Quinn.
And the one clear difference between her and Harley would be she's a lot more stable. Even though she's insane, she's far more stable.
Oh, yeah.
Harley Quinn would never be as ambitious to try and take over a crime family. Harley Quinn would never do that.
Because she, like Joker, would be an agent of chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Barbara Keene wants to run the underworld.
Yeah.
And just comes off a little too crazy, too.
She's crazy, but she's not so crazy where she's just like a spinning top.
That's Flash.
So Nigma, she tells Nigma this stuff, and Nigma, he doesn't know what to think. So Nigma, he tries, he makes his attempt at trying to get the truth, and this is my favorite scene of the whole show this week. This was such good acting between Nigma and Penguin. He fakes quitting, and does it under the disguise of he's pretending he's insinuating that he wants a different relationship with Penguin, and Penguin just jumps at it. He just jumps at it.
Poor Penguin. I mean, he wanted him so bad. He believed that. Oh.
I mean, you got to give that guy credit, because Penguin, for being no one has ever made me feel so much remorse or so bad for a character, despite the fact that this guy's a homicidal killer. Like, he's crazy. You know what I mean?
He's so sympathetic.
Yeah, he can be so sympathetic. He's such a murderer.
Because that's the point of a well-written character, is that they're so sympathetic and you can relate to them so much. And, like, the joke that's always made is, like, a well-written character on just a regular drama.
Yeah.
Next week he could kill somebody. And if he's well-written enough, you'd be like, yeah, but you don't know him like I know him.
Yeah.
That guy deserved it.
Yeah, like, I just want to give Oswald Cobblepot a hug. I mean, it's like he lost his mommy, everyone's betrayed him. He lost his dad soon after when he finally met him. It's like, this guy's got some problems, and he wanted to be with Nigma so bad.
Yeah, but, let's also not forget the fact that he did murder an innocent woman. Just based off the fact that she loved Riddler unconditionally.
I still think that there's way more to that, because they wouldn't have shown the doctor that Barnes killed that it was making people look like other people with plastic surgery. They wouldn't have shown that if there's not more to her story. And trust me, just like Barbara said, I can't believe two people are in love with that guy. And Butch made the same comment. No offense, but Nigma is a little weird.
I feel like this is something we'll drop, though.
Yeah.
But they have to. I mean, why would they killed her? We're not going to get it back.
I think that actress is going to come back and play a different woman at Gotham that looks exactly like her.
We did say that.
Just to screw with him.
That would be crazy. Or she could be a bit of clone.
Can we?
Right? Sorry. What?
Like more Indiana clone? Like,
I mean, but clone.
I know, but you know what I mean.
But
but it's like making everyone a host. I don't know who's watching that show. I don't want to say too much.
All right, so Nigma, he tries to quit and it completely works. Penguin completely shouts his love for him, and the Riddler, and the Riddler's reactions. It's like once he starts realizing, like, holy hell, you do love me. You killed my lady. Oh, that was heartbreaking. I felt bad for him because that was his best friend. That was his best friend.
And it was a true blind spot for Nigma.
That's how much he liked him.
Like, so much so that, like, after he figured out it wasn't Butch and Tabitha, he was like, well, it's an enemy of Penguin.
Yeah.
Who came after me.
Wouldn't be my best friend.
Yeah, wouldn't be Penguin. Whereas,
so broken.
Yeah.
Right?
Whereas subjectively it would absolutely be Penguin.
His insides destroyed. So then we go to him watching Penguin give off the an award for someone who wrote a book on the sewer system of Gotham. Ooh, excitement.
Well, let's be fair. Nothing in film or TV is by accident. It's all on purpose. So I guarantee you that plays in the Court of Owls stuff.
I feel it will play into, like, possibly, because they have hinted at Killer Croc. It's like, who lives in the sewers?
Okay.
They've hinted at Killer Croc. I also think that, like, that's where the Court of Owls will be. Like, the sewers are really old because the city's really old. Like, there's a lot more to the sewers of Gotham.
Okay. So while this is going on, while he's performing this award, Penguin has the best flashback, or the best imagination scene. And I saw Steve jump while watching the TV, and he stabs him right in the back. And you really didn't know, because the history, the way Gotham goes, sometimes that wouldn't have shocked me. If that
Not at
really
all.
happened.
That would have made sense.
Yeah, that would have totally made sense. And it's Gotham, you know.
Yeah.
Mayor gets stabbed all the time.
Yeah, Nigma would have had to go to Arkham, and then they let him out of Arkham.
Yeah, it just happens.
Get another
you get the
certificate.
certificate. We want one of those.
Yeah. So I said, but he doesn't stab him. He hugs him, and I guess he continues his resignation. Right? He says, "You remember, you're my best friend," but then he leaves. He doesn't kill the resignation. He just
I think he's kind of exploring that. No, we'll be business partners, and that doesn't mean he can't be like in love with him.
Yeah. Well, he finds Barbara, and he joins. He says, "I want to destroy him. I want to destroy him. I want to get rid of him." And of course, they accept.
Of course.
And Barbara's entire plan is to run all of Gotham's underworld.
This Tabitha Butch thing escalated quickly.
Yeah.
I know, right? It used to be a three-way.
Well,
Now it just seems like it's only those two.
Yeah, I think
Seems like Barbara got out the relationship.
they wifed up.
Yeah.
They coupled up.
Yeah. It used to be a nice three-way thing going on. Because first, and then she just, I guess Barbara's gotten so focused on controlling things that she doesn't have time for relationships. I think that says a lot, again, why she was not Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised if she just has a stable of men or women
It's a possibility.
across the underworld.
Babs loves women more than men, I think. So, and Gotham's her gal now. She wants to run it.
Did you want a quicker response from Nigma regarding all this? Like, did you want him to immediately go right after Penguin, or are you excited that he's going to draw it out and try to systematically break down Penguin?
I like that, and it fits him. It fits him, and it also fits Barbara's plan, which is I don't want to create a power vacuum and then have to fight all of Gotham to get to the top of it. It's I would like, with your help, to take down Penguin and take his place.
Yeah, and like you say, it fits Nigma's personality. He is not the strike first. He is the plan out very methodically and get his soul. Because, as you said, he doesn't want to kill him. He wants to destroy him.
Do you think there's any chance that this might go into a direction where Riddler actually has feelings for Penguin?
Stockholm Syndrome wise.
No, maybe.
Like, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
But that could change.
I like the war between them. I find it more interesting that he's not into him. I find it interesting that he's interested in him and he's not, because I've never seen that.
The necessary conflict is what'll
Yeah.
make that work.
And I like that. I like that comic. 'Cause I don't think I've never seen that really explored in a show where someone is having a legit, homosexual feelings towards a guy, and that's his friend. He doesn't know how to deal with it, and the confrontation that it's causing, and they're throwing the fact that they're both homicidal murderers.
Yeah. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
It is a very interesting and pretty progressive way they're approaching this, in the sense that the fact that Nigma isn't homosexual isn't like a no homo, like I don't even a super like homophobic way to take that. It's like, oh nah, I don't even do that. Like where it's just like, no, I just don't love you.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he was just like, oh, okay. But he was just like, it was very human in his response of he didn't want him to push him away, but he just doesn't feel the same way.
Yeah.
Until he realized he killed his girlfriend.
Yeah. Because I think a piece of Riddler always knew that he might. I don't think it's shocking to him that Penguin might be gay. I think it's shocking to him that
he'd be interested in
interested in him.
And it shocked everyone else too.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. All right, so okay, it's time for the main event.
Oh man.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll go to Jim and Mario. So essentially, he's got the virus, man. He's all virus stuff.
We were on the fence as late as last week.
Yeah.
Where it's like probably, but maybe he's not exhibiting the same symptoms as Barnes. We haven't seen the weird face thing. We didn't see the voices till this week. No, it's the virus.
Yeah.
And it makes complete sense within the timeline. We see him punch Jim at the not rehearsal dinner, the engagement party, and he has a bandage on his neck, so the timeline makes complete sense.
Yeah, they did really good setting it up. I'm just a little disappointed that I was kind of hoping that Lee had gotten with him because she was investigating him, and the Falcones for Jim's dad's murder. And
Wow.
so, like,
Okay.
and that's sort of a prediction I'd thrown out there before, but it's like, I wish that they'd let her be the one to be investigating him, and that this was all for show, so she could, because I just like her and Jim.
Yeah.
They're a real life couple. It's too
They
cute.
are. I think they just went down the road of a sordid love affair.
Yeah, and to me, Lee's just smarter than that. For her not to see it, it was just a little like, eh.
Well, I mean, you could attest to like
Yeah.
they're so in love that it blinds their intelligence. Both of them.
Yeah.
All right, so Mario, he crushes the doctor's skull to get the key to go get the Tetch virus.
Yeah. That was awesome. Because then this was also the reveal that it was the Tetch virus.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess so. I was already on.
I mean,
I already figured that it was.
Yeah,
all right.
like the hint was at dinner last week, where it's like, so did they find? So they have a test now.
No.
So now he's tracking down a hematologist to get the test. He cracks his skull with his hands.
Yeah, 2 Swag for Real in chat says that face crushing was amazing,
It
and I
was
agree,
crazy.
man.
It was crazy. Jim at the crime scene when they find the body, the work done on the body, it looked so real. It looked crazy.
The show gets away with
I
some
know,
real
it does.
stuff,
It
like
does.
8 p.m.
Jim, while looking over the body, Jim finds figures out that it's for that the person's working out on Tetch's virus. Sorry about that, a little jumbled in my mouth.
Well,
He's working on Tetch's virus and figures out that the person who killed this person has something to do with that. So of course he goes investigates, and when he gets there, he figures out, he finds that that the person is still there. And then he goes in to check it out. And, of course, it's Mario. And Mario beats the bat crap out of him. And he crushed someone else's skull. He's like skull crushing.
Yes.
Like, that's like his mode of action.
Well,
Which is cool.
he's skull crushing, so he could crush that test, though. What?
What?
Punjar? That's Punjar.
Yeah. Touche. Well done.
One day we're gonna have to donate that Punjar.
Yeah, good job.
I know, this
It's-
imaginary pun jar.
It's the GDP of a country at this point.
Yeah.
We've been doing this 3 seasons.
It'll fund something. There's been so much in it. After he wakes up, he gets beat up, and then when he wakes up, Mario writes on his hand Arkham, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
And it leads him to go talk to Tetch. And there goes on another one of my favorite parts of today's episode, the rhyming battle.
Yes.
It was almost like it was like a Dr. Seuss MC supervillain battle. It was awesome.
Can someone drop them? Like, can someone on YouTube drop them a beat?
No.
Drop them
We
a
need
beat,
that.
mash that up. I think the world needs that this week.
Yeah. Jarvis, he almost has like Tourette's, and the rhymes were just so touched him so much. He couldn't help but just spurt out information. He was shocking himself. It was great.
So
Go on.
this is all Court of Owls, right?
That's what a
where
lot
we're-
of people are
Tetch?
speculating, that Tetch is even part of this, but I kind of would rather him be his own separate psychopath.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like his own separate psychopath, and that the Court of Owls doesn't run everything, because it does get a little more convenient.
Yeah.
And I'll call it Cylon-y. Because in the
Yes.
Battlestar Galactica,
Yeah.
it's just you throw a dart at the board, and he's a Cylon now.
Nope.
But I don't want it to be. No, Court of Owls, Court of Owls, Court of Owls. Barbara's on the Court of Owls. Penguin knew about the Court of Owls the whole time. Like, it gets lame.
Yeah.
Whereas the Court of Owls can be better social engineers. Like, they could have created Tetch and controlled Tetch, but never actually like made the plan foolproof.
Yeah. I mean, because Tetch is an actual psychopath, much like Jerome and Barbara, and I'd like for these people to stay separate, from the Court of Owls, because they're so psycho and fun and campy. I mean, Benedict Samuel as Mad Hatter has been one of my favorite additions this
Yes.
year. I loved him on Walking Dead, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see him on that. I'm still hoping that we get to a point where, because I said this on last week's episode, one of my favorite Batman graphic novels is Long Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Long Halloween and Dark Victory, right? They go hand in hand. And there's a part where it's essentially Falcone and the old mob and the old crimes in Gotham City being taken over by the new criminals, which would all be the psychopaths. The Mad Hatters,
Yeah.
the Penguins, the Jokers. So I'm hoping that there's going to be a moment where they kind of band together to go against the old guard And,
That would make sense.
And Jim Gordon is just stuck in the middle.
And the funny thing is, Sky Patterson brings up in the chat that Alberto Falcone was the son of Gotham City crime lord Carmine Falcone, and later in his life was convicted as one of the holiday killers in The Long Halloween.
Also, in the one of the big mysteries in those graphic novels is that Selina Kyle might. It's a theory that she might be a Falcone's daughter.
And
Yeah.
What if
that actually
that can't happen in this?
they're riding pretty close to that son. That would explain why Mama Kyle we just met is so close to this stuff that a Carmine would be close to.
Yeah. All right. Well, so he gets the information from Tetch, and then of course it leads to Mario, and then he arrests Mario. Mario is clean. He's clean. He's completely clean.
Crushed it.
He crushed it, metaphorically and physically. And he gets off, and it drives Jim insane. He doesn't know how to deal with it. And then he goes to Lee's place because he wants to talk to Lee, I guess to warn her, and he runs into Mario. And I like that little moment. I saw your face light up because it was a return of Victor Zsasz.
Yes.
I saw his name at the front credits because
so you figured it out?
I'm one of those people who likes to spoil themselves with the front credits, but Victor Zsasz, I'm a big fan of Victor Zsasz. I love that they use him so sparingly in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun to have him pop up every now and then. Yeah. Like, we need a contract killer? Okay.
I didn't think I thought the knockout punch was useless though. I was like, oh, he didn't need to get knocked out.
Yeah.
He was like, give me that.
Well, it's also pretty clear that's part of the plan. That's part of the plan. If you're able to just punch Victor's ass and take your clip, yeah, probably part of the plan.
And he gets a lot of tidbits about the plan from Mario. Mario gives him a nice little about of tidbits where he gets the gist of the plan. So he crashes the wedding and finds Lee, and it goes in such an interesting direction. You know, at first he's trying to tell her that, you know, Mario's crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then he realizes, once she's not buying into it, that he only did it because this is his plan, for him to look crazy. And then something interesting happens. He starts just opening up and apologizing for the past. Now, what I wanted to ask you guys, do you think he was apologizing for the past to save Lee, or it was just an excuse for him to finally bare his soul?
Elements of both. This is Jim Gordon's best way to express himself when he's backed into a corner. But that's what we love.
Yeah, both is the best answer. Because he's been holding on to that for a while.
I know,
because he did run to her first.
He looked really earnest. Like when he was telling her, like it didn't look like he was just trying to save her anymore. It looked like it was just an excuse to let it out, and he just wanted to let it go. And when he was begging her to leave, it was almost as if he was just like, hey, like run away with me.
Yeah.
It almost felt like he was pleading with her. Wasn't it? Right, guys?
Yeah, it's timing's always, when it comes to matters of love, there's love and connection, and then there's timing, and the timing thing will never work for these two.
Yeah. Well, it didn't. It especially didn't work out in this moment. She has Carmine escort him out. Oh, and Lee slaps him. Lee slaps. Did you think Lee was unjustified? In her reaction, everything he said.
As I say, I was very confused because I did not expect Lee to really love Mario. I thought that this was going to turn out to be something else. So yeah, I'm just like, I still don't get it.
Like his plan worked really well.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you expect it to, like? Do you think? Wouldn't you have expected Lee to be a little, like, catch on quick?
Yeah.
You know. Or maybe she was forcing herself not to.
No, I think
she's really trying to avoid Jim because she doesn't want to get her heart.
No, I think it was because this is essentially like close to a 10-week plan from our side of slowly discredit Jim.
Yeah.
Like he's a drunk bounty hunter. He's
Han Solo.
He's captured by Tetch. He eventually comes back to the Force, but he still holds a candle for Lee. And now all of a sudden he keeps going after Mario, someone you can't prove is guilty, up until the wedding day. Like, it was a well-laid plan. And predictions will get into who we think actually laid the plan. But it was a well-laid plan to discredit him and destroy his relationship with Lee. To play devil's advocate, Court of Owls. We're left to assume Gordon's father is somewhere within the Court of Owls. He's the
That is
guy
true.
with the ring at the end of that episode
Yep.
a couple weeks ago. Would his father, through the Court of Owls and Tetch, destroy his life to kind of do a Vader thing?
I totally see that coming since I already made the Han Solo reference to Jim's profession in drinking. But yeah, that would be awesome, especially because James Remar, you know, Dexter's dad, is going to be playing Jim's dad. So he plays such a good, like, bad guy.
Wow. Okay. All right. So essentially, Lucius figures out that Mario masked the virus. They tell Jim, and then Jim approaches Carmine to get it, to go find him. Carmine won't let him go, and then he finally gets it out of him where Mario is, and then we have the climactic. He shows up to help her. He shows up to go. He runs to go find Mario.
Well, to be fair, he vows to Carmine that he won't kill him.
Yes, he does. Yes, all right. That's the big.
That's the big thing
He vows
because
to
of how
Carmine
this
he
went
won't-
down.
He vows to Carmine he won't kill him. Mario, on the other hand, the virus takes over. He asks Lee. Lee says she still loves him. Of course, she those going like Jim, but she loves him. And it overtakes him, and he's about to stab her, full on. And Jim, of course, gets there. Now he's on time, but it's still not. He could have been there earlier. And then he shoots him.
Yeah, and the key is, too, you see the knife fall into the water. So
I know.
there, now he has nothing to back up his story.
No evidence.
Other than Lee, but Lee didn't see the knife either.
No.
Yeah.
So it's actually like devil's advocate. Do we
Yeah.
think this was part of the plan too?
I think so. I think that they knew that he would kill him if given the opportunity.
Well, because the Court of Owls
Yeah.
wanted Mario dead anyway.
Yes.
But see, I still don't know why they wanted Mario dead.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
It's got something to do with Tetch. Tetch is an Indian Hill subject, so it's definitely an orchestration of the Court of Owls because the Court of Owls run everything.
All right.
And as much as I want it to be a little more Agent of Chaos-y, this is all Court of Owls. This is Court of Owls written all over it. It's so personal. It's so that they're leaving Jim with nothing that they can use him as a pawn.
All right, real quick. Predictions real quick?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What do you got? Kaufman.
I'll let the drama build. So, heading into January when we all come back,
Yes.
we know that Barbara Keene wants to take over the underworld from Penguin with the help of
Riddler?
with the help of Nigma. We know that Carmine Falcone, because his son died, is going to want to burn the whole place to the ground. We know that Jerome comes back, and I believe he would come back and lead all the Indian Hill freaks that are still around, including the Bruce Wayne clone. Mm-hmm. There's also the Court of Owls, who may or may not be orchestrating the whole thing. And then there's the Gotham PD,
Yeah.
who has no control over any of it.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much just Gordon.
Yeah.
Gordon and Bullock. Bullock will likely be a captain. At some point, they'll unleash the Kraken that will be Barnes.
Okay.
Or will he side with Jerome? No.
Maybe they might find a cure by then.
That's I think they will not find a cure to the Tetch virus.
I don't think so either.
That'll be my solid prediction, other than the map that they've clearly laid out and just kind of explaining that. I think when the dust settles, it's probably still going to be Penguin.
All right.
Nigma will be dead. Fish Mooney will be dead again. Tabitha will be dead, but Butch will be alive, but he'll have to carry that torch for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And the dust will settle. It's Penguin again. Go on.
Christian?
Yeah, basically, well, I'll sum up what Steve said. Crap's gonna hit the fan,
Yep.
And that's pretty much, because it's Gotham. It's awesome. I do think that Lee is definitely gonna push Jim away. Is not going to believe him. Nobody except maybe Harvey Bullock will believe Jim's story, and even then, he'll be like, "Nah, I can see him killing that guy."
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think that is sort of where it's going, is a darker Jim Gordon that we were getting at the beginning of the season, and then he'll team up with Bruce and co. to get rid of all the psychos.
All right, guys. That's it. We're not going to see you guys until January. It's mid-season break. Thank you for joining us. Please go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Subscribe, like, iTunes, SoundCloud. My name is Micheal Drew. You can find me on Twitter, Michael_Drew, Michael EAL. My peoples, where can they find you?
I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys. You can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet and on 3 DC shows this week for the crossover. Supergirl tonight, Arrow on Wednesday, and The Usual Legends of Tomorrow on Thursday. So stick with me, guys.
I'm on none of
Yeah.
those shows, but you can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. Also, those of you who are watching the Monday Night Football game, I will be talking about it, hopefully a lot happier than I am right this second. Probably in this room. So
Hey.
stick with me for that.
Guys, happy Christmas.
Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
Not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.